episode of What's Up Weekly, where we bring you the latest news in 10 minutes or less. My co-host is out today, so I'm on my own, and we have a lot to get through, so bear with me. It's been all over national headlines. If Congress fails to approve the spending bill by Friday, the federal government will shut down. But what does that mean to us? Well, it might affect you more than you think. If you're planning on traveling out of the country soon, make sure you get your passport this week because it's likely that passport processing will be put on hold, as well as toxic waste cleanup, National Institutes of Health clinic research, and even veteran health care. National parks, museums, and monuments will also likely close down. On the bright side though, essential services such as air traffic controllers, national security apparatuses, and the postal services will keep running. And just like people become easily addicted to drinking, smoking, and drugs, new research shows people can just as easily be addicted to eating as well. This research comes from looking at addictive behaviors of people and studying their brain activity. Researchers found the brain activity is similar to people who have addictive eating behaviors. The research was done in a small study at Yale where they were trying to determine how biology and psychology interact together in the condition of obesity. They looked at 39 women and created a food addiction score questionnaire and asked the women about their behaviors and their responses to food and scored them high or low. They then hooked the participants up to an MRI to look at their brain activity to see which areas of the brain were used when activated. The researchers showed the subjects a series of healthy and unhealthy foods and then studied which areas of the brain were activated. They determined it is the same areas of the brain other addicts stimulate, suggesting people really can be addicted to eating. The researchers commented this is still an ongoing study, that more information will be released as it becomes available to them. Well, Dancing with the Stars never ceases to provide us with entertainment of Hollywood's B-list celebrities, and this week was no different. The theme for the show this time was Story Night, and let me tell you, the stars definitely told a story. I'm just not sure it was the right one. Some of the normal good dancers didn't perform so well, and then there were the usual bad dancers who actually did quite decent. But the big story of the night was when Kirstie Alley found herself flat on the floor, and not intentionally, I might add. Alley intended to do a dance that portrayed how to find hope after despair, but moments after the music started, Alley's partner had a cramp or muscle pull in his left thigh and caused him to fall backwards, and he took Alley down with him. You could hear the audience wince, followed by looks of concern from Alley, but then the duo got back up and were able to finish the routine. Despite the mishap, Dancing with the Stars judge Bruno said, "You can't keep good talent down," and the two received a 21 out of 30 for their performance. After being booed off the stage in Detroit and then surprisingly worshipped in Chicago, Charlie Sheen made his third stop at the Violent Torpedo of Truth, Defeat is Not an Option tour in Cleveland last night. Before the show, many Sheen followers around the world wondered which extreme reaction would come out of Ohio City. And, well, they loved him. Charlie came out wearing a Cleveland Indians jersey and began to answer questions from the excited audience. Amongst answering questions and cracking a few jokes, Sheen actually went into details about some of his extensive and dangerous drug use experiences, which often threw the crowd into rowdy applause or chants. Well, it's been way too long since we've had a Justin Bieber story, so I thought it was only necessary to bring up the Biebs this week. Being the sweet guy he is, the pop star wanted to wish his mom, Patty Millette, a happy birthday, but unfortunately his birthday surprise went up in smoke, literally. Justin brought his mom up on stage to have everyone sing happy birthday to her at one of his concerts in Berlin. He surprised her and brought her out a cake to celebrate. As the audience sang to Patty, she leaned over to blow out the candles and a few strands of her hair caught fire. Being the rock star he is, Justin quickly noticed what had happened and patted down his mom's hair, and the Biebs saves the day yet again. Well, it's no secret that our beloved Bulldogs fell to the Huskies in the final championship game for the NCAA tournament. Butler lost the dogfight and set a record for the worst shooting percentage in the NCAA title game. Their shooting record was 18.8% for the night, and they only made 12 field goals, which resulted in quite a disappointing loss. Shelvin Mack, who averaged 22 points in the first 5 games, was the only Butler player to finish in double digits, and even then he managed only 13 points during the game. But to all the Butler haters out there, all I can say is at least they made it that far, 2 years in a row, more than most teams can say. So congratulations Butler on a great season. The NFL has finally reached its day in court. Today, a federal judge will hear arguments from lawyers representing current and former NFL players who want the league to lift its lockout in this year's football season to proceed. The judge will consider whether to grant a preliminary injunction that would lift the lockout, the result of an ongoing dispute between the NFL owners and the players who have failed to reach a collective bargaining agreement. The NFL has already started its intentions to appeal the ruling if the court calls for a lift of the lockout. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at What's Up Weekly IU for the breaking news out of the NFL hearings. Well, that wraps up the 10th episode of Season 2 of What's Up Weekly. Have a wonderful week and rest up for the next Little 5 week events. See you next time.